The all-new Scream 6 is a heart-pounding thrill ride that will leave you on the edge of your seat begging for more. The much-awaited sequel has finally arrived, just over a year after the last movie, and it's clear that something sinister is lurking in the shadows once again. The survivors from the previous films must come together once more to confront their fears and battle the ever-present danger that seems to follow them wherever they go. Despite the rough production and the confusion left behind by the previous movie, Scream 6 manages to impress in ways that we never thought possible. The plot is twisted and full of surprises, keeping us on the edge of our seats as we try to piece together the pieces of this complex puzzle. The screenwriters, James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, have outdone themselves this time around. They have managed to juggle the various timelines and characters with ease, creating a seamless narrative that draws us deeper and deeper into the dark world of Woodsboro. But the biggest surprise of all is the way they've balanced the tone of the movie. It's a difficult task, but they've mastered it, crafting a story that's both terrifying and entertaining at the same time. In Scream 6, the stakes are higher than ever before. The danger is real, and the consequences of failure are dire. But with the strength of their conviction and the support of their friends, the heroes just might be able to overcome the terror that has plagued them for so long. Only time will tell if they can succeed, but one thing is for sure, the legacy of Woodsboro will live on. In the eerie slasher sequel, Scream 6, there's a bone-chilling moment when Hayden Panettiere's beloved character returns and reveals a shocking truth. She confesses that she died for 4 terrifying minutes after being mercilessly stabbed in the 4th installment of the series, which was released back in 2011. That 4th movie, however, was not appreciated enough and ended up being a curse for the franchise. It killed off the hopes of launching a new trilogy and instead brought the series to a gruesome halt for over a decade. The box office numbers were devastating, leaving a deep wound that seemed impossible to heal. But now the long wait is over and the series has been resurrected. The new movie promises to be a spine-chilling experience that will keep you up at night with all the classic thrills and scares that you love. The terror is back, and it's more twisted and sinister than ever before. As the third act of Scream 6 unfolds, our brave protagonists board a subway train that seems to have been taken over by an army of Halloween revelers. At first glance, it appears to be a typical costume party on wheels, but upon closer inspection, something sinister is at play. The train car is filled with people dressed up as iconic horror characters, and it's not just the run-of-the-mill costumes you see at Halloween stores. We're talking about the big guns here. The likes of Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers are all present, their creepy masks sending shivers down the spines of our heroes. But that's not all. The car is also home to some of the most infamous horror villains of all time, including Chucky, Pennywise, and the Grady sisters from The Shining. Even Sam Neill's reluctant reader from In the Mouth of Madness makes a quick appearance. However, amidst all the ghoulish revelry, something's not quite right. Our heroes begin to realize that there are not one, but many ghost faces nested throughout the car as well. The atmosphere grows more tense with each passing moment as they try to unmask the killers and put an end to their reign of terror. But with so many terrifying foes on board, it's hard to know who to trust. Every passenger could be a potential threat, and the ghost faces seem to be one step ahead at every turn. Will our heroes make it out alive, or will they become just another bloody chapter in the ongoing horror story of the town of Woodsboro? In the middle of the spine-chilling suspense of the scene, where the characters are struggling to uncover the true identity of the ghost faces, the audience is instead distracted by the endless array of spooky references scattered throughout the movie. In most movies, hidden references to other characters would be nothing more than an annoying distraction, but in the terrifying world of Scream, they only add to the tension of the moment. As the characters grapple with the possibility that the ghost faces in their midst might be dangerous killers, the audience is scanning every inch of the screen for their favorite horror references. Of course, Scream movies are famous for their pop culture nods. The very first movie opens with a quiz that rewards horror aficionados and punishes those who are ignorant of the genre's tropes. And in Scream 6, the nods to classic horror are even more abundant, with characters dressed up as Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers, as well as a host of other iconic characters. But as we marvel at these references and try to spot every single one, we can't help but wonder, Are we being lured into a false sense of security? Is the real danger leaking just out of sight, waiting to pounce when we least expect it? In Scream, anything is possible, and even the most seemingly harmless detail can be a clue to the sinister truth. Despite the abundance of horror references in Scream 6, the movie manages to maintain an atmosphere of tension and fear that keeps audiences on the edge of their seats. The costumes worn by the partygoers on the subway train are not just superficial nods to horror icons, they are fully integrated into the story, adding to the sense of unease that permeates every scene. As the train hurtles through the darkness, the characters and the audience alike are left wondering if and when Ghostface will strike. Each time the train passes through a tunnel, plunging everyone into darkness, our hearts skip a beat and we brace ourselves for the worst. But it's not just the setting that adds tension. The filmmakers have crafted a movie that keeps us guessing at every turn. As the story unfolds and the characters move through different train cars, we are left wondering who will survive and who will meet their end. The sense of isolation and vulnerability is palpable, and we can't help but feel like we are right there with them, trapped on a train, hurtling towards our doom. In the hands of the directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette, Scream 6 feels fresh and alive, even as it pays homage to its predecessors. They have created a masterpiece of horror filmmaking that will keep audiences on the edge of their seats long after the credits have rolled. Let's talk about the characters in the movie now. We have the old survivors from the previous installment of the movie, Sam and Tara Carpenter, who are half-sisters and moved to New York City, seeking safety from the Ghostface killer. They are accompanied by Mindy and Chad, who are children of the franchise's lore keeper, the late Randy Meeks. These four characters have a strong bond despite their recent introduction, and they have each other's backs as they navigate through their new lives. However, their safety is still in question as they encounter stab fans who want to bring back the movie within a movie franchise to its basics. The four of them must protect themselves and each other from danger, especially Sam, who is dealing with the revelation that she is the daughter of one of the original Ghostfaces from Scream 1996. Despite the ordinary dialogue, the natural charisma of the cast shines through, making their bond feel pretty authentic. We understand their motives for sticking together and rooting for each other even as they face the ever-looming threat of the Ghostface killer. The quartet's interactions are so gripping and emotional that the few other characters from previous Scream movies seem almost pointless. Even though the New York setting provides a convenient excuse for Gale Weathers, Courtney Cox, to make an appearance, her tough journalist persona is starting to wear thin. However, her mourning for Dewey Riley adds an intriguing twist. The return of Kirby Reed, who survived the attack in the previous film and has become an FBI agent, is even more surprising. Although she has matured, she has lost her fiery attitude that made her so beloved. Of course, there are also new characters to suspect, including Samara Weaving as a film professor, Tony Revolori as a fervent stab fan, Josh Segura as Sam's supportive but secretive boyfriend, and Devin Nakota as Mindy's girlfriend, Anika. The newbies also include Avatar, The Way of the Water standout Jack Champion as Chad's nerdy roommate Ethan, Liana Liberato as the girl's sex-positive roommate Quinn, and Dermot Malorny as Quinn's detective father, who is just as protective as Sam due to his own loss of a child. Scream 6 follows the classic Scream formula, giving us plenty of suspicious characters, especially Sam, who sees visions of her Ghostface dad, Billy. But that's not a problem, as the directors, Bettinelli-Olpin and Gillette, up the paranoia levels to the max. They don't give us any good clues to follow, so we're left guessing who the killer might be. We just know that Ghostface can strike anytime, anywhere, keeping us on the edge of our seats. The movie takes place in New York, and the directors take full advantage of the city's unique features to create some killer scenes, pun intended. There's a subway scene that will make you never want to ride the train again, and Ghostface uses angled mirrors in a bodega to find his next victims. Plus, we get to watch the characters witnessing the attacks from nearby buildings, keeping us engaged with the story. It's clear that Bettinelli-Olpin and Gillette are top-notch filmmakers in the horror genre, and they remind us of that with every set piece. When it comes to making you scream, Scream 6 knows what it's doing, but when it tries to tackle bigger topics like family and trauma, it's like a clumsy killer stumbling over its own feet. The movie quickly forgets about those deep thoughts and goes back to its bread and butter, killer set pieces. And boy, are those set pieces something else. They're electrifying, heart-pumping, and just downright terrifying. No amount of franchise history or movie references can stop Scream 6 from being a pure horror masterpiece. So don't overthink it, just let the screams take over. That's all on the iconic horror sequel for now. Let us know what your thoughts on the movie are in the comments below, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more like it. See you in the next one.